Hello and welcome to Kakistocracy with Joseph P. Larkin, the very itchy Joseph P. Larkin, and I'm Chris
Mhm.
Adams. How are you doing today?
I'm very itchy. I I want to tell a story about I haven't had poison ivy in 30 fucking years, 3 decades. But
Hmm.
I got it the other day and man, it's rough.
Yeah,
You see this?
yeah.
Dude,
Even with your camera, I can tell.
look at this part right here. See, what people don't know about poison ivy is that at first, when you first get it, it's still very um
You can't feel it as much.
no, you can definitely feel it. It's very itchy, but the only thing that makes it spread is itching it more. And
Right,
then
right. You
you
need
reach
to
a
like
certain
count.
point. Well, yeah, I've reached the point now where it doesn't itch as much anymore, so there's no reason to scratch it. So instead, what happens is it just starts weeping pus, and then
Jesus.
this is
Ooh.
what happens. And
Ooh.
then when it weeps the pus gets on other parts of you. It's just, I mean, like, look at this right here. That it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like this morning at like 9 in the morning, I had lied a bit, laying in bed all night, wanting to scratch it, and then I was like, man, fuck this. And I just went to fucking town on it, and now I'm like
No.
suffering. So
Yeah,
yeah, now it doesn't itch. Now it just fucking hurts.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
the I got to tell you about the last time I got poison ivy because it's pretty funny. My dad, like I said, we lived in kind of a rural area. We didn't have sidewalks growing up, so just taking a walk sometimes is a fucking amazing journey to me. Like I can't believe it. I can walk around and not have to like potentially get like run over and fall into a ditch or something,
Right.
which could totally happen in Slida, Louisiana. But anyway, so we would rake up all the leaves and then he'd put them in the ditch and set them on fucking fire. He would burn our leaves. This is how rural it is. And I guess he was a total. My family's in denial about being white trash, but I can assure you
Eh.
that we are. So, anyways, he set all this fucking poison ivy on fire, and the smoke got in my eyes, and I got fucking poison ivy in both of my fucking eyes.
Oh
So
no.
I, I'll never forget it because I had a Faith No More bootleg cassette and I was lying in bed with with a warm washcloth over my eyes, listening to that Faith No More bootleg for the first time. Yeah, my dad was a funny character. I have to tell you this. I don't know if you found the video of the guy pulling his own tooth.
I was about to play that actually after you're done with the story.
Uh, okay,
That's
well,
what. That's
dude,
the only
yeah,
reason
play
I
it
was.
right now.
The only reason I was looking down was I was like, I need to make sure I have this ready to for Joseph's story, and like as soon as he's done. So I'll play it right now, though.
Okay, let's see it. Oh wow. Dude,
Oh man,
he's so proud of himself too. This is redneck shit, dude.
the beer at the end is the crescendo. It's it's the
Not
Genis.
even whiskey. You
No,
fucking clean it out with whiskey, dummy. Don't you watch westerns?
no, I don't think he does.
So check this out. One day, me and my sister got home from school, and my dad he was so proud of himself. He ran out. He's like, "Check out what I did," and he showed us a black tooth.
Oh my
He
god.
goes, "Check out my black tooth." He had a black tooth in the back of his. It was so dead it was black, and
No.
he took a pair of pliers and just yanked it out by himself, and he was so proud of this. And on another occasion, he had a cancerous growth on his back, and he just cut it off with a pocket knife.
I mean that's the redneck surgery, right?
But I mean, this is why I'm this way too. I won't go to the fucking doctor. In fact, I went to the ER last summer, and I was like, yeah, never again. I'll just fucking die instead. What a waste of time and money. I think I'd rather
Right.
just die. But
Yeah.
I want to talk about how I got this poison ivy
Okay.
because
Hiking.
it was yes, of course, and
Yeah.
it was one of those because what I love about LA and why I think I like hiking so much is if you wander off the main trail, sometimes you just end up in a rich guy's backyard. Sometimes the other day I just ended up in I was in a country club. I was like, what the fuck? I don't. I could tell the boomers were pissed at me because I was just wandering around with my headphones on in their dumb fucking country club paradise. And by the way, had I not found the exit, I would have been locked in that. I would have been locked in that place all night, or had to have climbed a fence somewhere or something. You don't need to be jumping fences in your fucking middle age years, dude. It's time to
No.
grow up, maybe. But but that's what I love about it. You just wander around. So you wander around and just find yourself in these weirdest places, and then somehow you come out and you're like, oh look, I'm back in humanity again. Here's the urban jungle.
Right.
But So I climbed down this hole and like I'm just in a hole now. And I was like, oh, there's no path out of here. I have to climb out of this hole. And I'll this will be burned on my retinas forever. I saw one tree I could grab and pull myself up. And I was like, there's poison oak or poison ivy,
Hmm.
whichever one it is, right on that tree. And the second it's like you can either get poison ivy or just stay here forever. So I just pulled myself up and gave myself fucking poison ivy and rubbed it all over my fucking arm.
Yeah. Jeez. Did you at least get like some lotion, some calamine lotion?
Yes, I've been putting whatever it's called.
I believe it's calamine, right? Or like the
Uh,
oatmeal. Didn't the
yeah, there's
old
some
school
kind of
tricks?
cortisone. Yeah, I'm using
Cortisone.
cortisone. I just
Okay.
had it already. I had it already from another time. I did
In
something stupid and got a
preparation.
rash. Yeah,
You're always
dude.
preparation H for any emergency.
Preparation JPL.
Yeah, preparation JPL.
Yeah, I'm ready
Um,
to roll. Whenever it's time to fuck up, I'm ready to roll. Ready to move. I'm ready to motor.
you know yourself very well, but
Hmm.
yeah,
Sure
LA's
shit. I'm the only one who knows me at all. And
right,
I'd say I barely know myself.
right.
Like, I don't know. Anyway.
No, I was gonna say LA is a weird place where anything can happen, and I think one of the top news stories that happened this week, like, I think we should go through it because
I know
it,
exactly what we're going to.
right, we talked about it off air, but let's just talk
It's
about it.
all I've thought about all fucking week. It's all
All
I've been
right.
thinking about and laughing at.
Well, there's this part. There's a first part.
A wild sequence of events leading to a large police presence here after a crash, a three-car crash on the 134 freeway. Now, right after that crash happened, one of the drivers fled the scene shirtless, wearing only his underwear and carrying a guitar into this residential neighborhood where CHP engaged in a foot pursuit with that suspect. There was a search going on in this neighborhood that you're looking at right here. During that search for that suspect, gunfire was exchanged with a separate suspect in this neighborhood. There was some confusion of some sort,
Exchanged.
and CHP apparently discharged their weapon, and then a short time later, the male suspect who fled the scene was taken into custody. So a really confusing scene down there. We have two people in custody, including one person who was struck by gunfire, and then a separate driver from that freeway crash who has now been taken away.
Yeah, and then there's a follow up to that where they talk a little more detail.
That breaking news, we have new information on the woman shot by Los Angeles police following a hit and run on a freeway in Eagle Rock. I'm David Ono.
I'm Ellen Leva. Just minutes ago, we learned that Jillian Schreiner was shot by officers during a search for the hit and run suspects. According to police, officers were searching a home in the neighborhood for one of the suspects when they spotted Schreiner standing in her front yard next door, armed with a gun. They claim that she ignored commands to drop the weapon, and that's when officers opened fire. Schreiner was taken to the hospital and treated for a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. We ran her address, and it comes back to Jillian and Scott Schreiner. He is the bassist for the band Weezer.
We ran her address. Fuck you. Fuck you, KTLA, you scumbags. Listen, stick to fucking airing Big Bang Theory reruns at midnight. Okay? That's what you're good at. The
Right,
news, let someone else handle it. You scumbags.
right.
First of all, she did not fire. She did not fire her gun. Can I clear some stuff up that they said there? She
Right.
did not fire the gun. And number two, their house had been broken into. So she just thought it was a burglar returning. So she didn't even know it was cops. She just saw some guy running away in his underwear and stuff, and I guess pulled the gun out.
Oh, okay. I was so confused as to what happened. I for this whole week I was like, what happened? Oh, this is them at Coachella, by the way. It's like,
Yeah, everyone made it a point to watch the Coachella live stream today. I'm pretty sure because everyone wanted to see how the bass player would act on stage, and he didn't disappoint. He looks so sad. Look at him. He looks so
yeah,
sad. He wouldn't even start singing the backup vocals until like I don't
almost
know,
near the end,
maybe
right?
the third to last song is when he finally
Yeah.
because he had to. He was the one guy that sings this falsetto part in a song
Mm.
called Surf Wax America, but it was the most beautiful moment I've ever seen because the fucking singer, this guy named Rivers, he when the bass player Scott had to sing,
Mm-hmm.
Rivers walked up behind him and like gave him a little, a little pat on the back. It was like, hey, everybody, look, Scott's singing. He's gonna be fine. It was just a really nice moment, and actually, it was boring because Weezer's boring, but it was still kind of good because the crowd was really into it and they were singing along to all the songs. And Weezer were really smart and they only played hit songs. They didn't play any
Right.
of their fucking new songs. Every song was like 20 years old at least.
Right.
And they played a Metallica cover and they played it really straightforward, which was very surprising because if I was Weezer, I just would have turned it into a fucking Weezer song instead because it
Well-
seems like it'd be a lot easier to play that way.
They did do a little bit of like when the solos came about, it was more Weezer-esque.
Yes, that's the part I liked the best because in the original solo, it's the guy named Kirk Hammett, and he's like a really good guitar player, and he worked on that guitar solo apparently for a long time, and it is a flawless guitar solo. But when Weezer were doing the solo part, both the guitarists were playing their own solo, so it was just kind of fun. Like it was just like it definitely didn't sound like Metallica in that moment, but that's a good thing. I
Right.
think.
Right. And I can't play
But
the audio, obviously, but
no
there,
way.
there is. Well, yeah, no shit. Metallica is very Sue happy, but this is the Metallica. That I can tell you because I downloaded this video. This is the Metallica cover that they're doing right here, and it was pretty awesome when I watched it. I was watching it on my way to go pick up a new phone.
There was a lot of like irony at that fucking in that stream. Weird Al popped up at one point. Fucking Flavor Flav.
Really?
I watched a band that actually. Let me look at my notes here.
Okay, yeah. I'll just keep playing
because
this.
I might watch it again next week. I think I'm gonna get weed next week instead, and it just zone out because it's the same fucking bands. The only band that's not playing next week is Weezer, I think. And Weezer weren't supposed to play this week either. They were doing a favor for a band that had to drop out. But I did see some cool bands. Let's see. Blonde Redhead. I've already seen them live. And I've already been a fan for like 30 years or some shit like that. But they were fucking great, and the crowd they were so low, they were so slow and boring. The crowd didn't do anything. No one was even filming with their cell phone camera. I thought that was great. I was like, this band rules. I watched Yo Gabba Gabba, which I guess is like a children's show.
Yeah.
Man, that was on fire, dude. That was really fun to watch. They had and at some point Flavor Flav came out and did a song with them, and Weird Al came out and did a song with them. It was kind of cool. It was also kind of disturbing because you can see all the creepy pedo shit. Like one of the fucking characters of Yo Gabba Gabba looks like a gigantic dildo. I'm not kidding, because there's a specific kind of dildo that you see in porn that has like the bumps on it, so it kind of looks like a big pickle. That's what one of the characters looks like. And then there's another one that looks exactly like a butt plug.
Wow. And that's a kids show?
It's a children's show, yeah.
What? Like,
it's hard to even understand. This is what I'm saying. The entire festival, the entire generation beneath us, and us as well, are completely poisoned by irony. They can't just enjoy something sincerely. So it's like, wouldn't it be funny if we ironically watched a live children's fucking thing? And hey, I did it too. So I can't even like make fun of them. I did it too.
yeah.
But yeah, Yo Gabba Gabba was amazing. That's something I definitely want to. Next week when they're on Saturday again, I'm gonna fucking get high and watch it and watch Yo Gabba Gabba. I think that's the only way. Probably should have dropped acid.
well, I don't know.
So what were, okay, so
Oh, yeah.
okay, the one good band I did see was called Together Pangea. That I had never heard of before. They're great. They basically just sound like every other post-punk band I've ever heard in the last 20 years. They really remind me of this band called the Soft Pack.
Okay.
They kind of remind me of the Black Lips, but they were fucking great. And speaking of irony, they only played a little bit of a cover, and it was "Zombie" by the Cranberries. But dude, the fucking crowd, the crowd went crazy.
I like that song.
I love the Cranberries. That's actually my least favorite Cranberries song, even though it's their big hit, because it's not like their other music. The rest of their music is very like slow and sad. It's great. It's very Irish. Very Irish. But then Nirvana happened in '94, so they had to make like a grunge song. So they made like 2 grunge songs, and the rest of it's all slow and sad. The Cranberries, man, they're fucking great. They really I don't know. They're another tragic band where the singer was an alcoholic and got drunk and passed out and drowned in her hotel room.
Oh, is that what happened? I didn't know how she died. I just remember hearing that she died a little while ago.
It's a super bummer. They have a really great. One of my favorite songs is called "Ode to My Family." It's just a nice song. It's just a nice song. It doesn't really have a chorus. Just her singing about how she likes her family.
Oh, that's
Not
cool.
enough to not die.
Yeah, I guess not too much.
She did like him.
She liked him
And
for a while.
let me tell you the one band I saw that I hated. This band
Okay.
called it's called Viagra Boys. I had them confused with the band called Jacuzzi Boys, which my friend manages. So that's why I watched them. I see what my friend is managing. And then I started watching. I was like, there's no way my friend would ever touch this. My friend used to manage the fucking Melvins. He would not touch Viagra Boys with a fucking long stick.
Right.
But it's the gayest shit ever. Like, he was talking about OnlyFans and stuff. I was like, you wrote a song about OnlyFans? Go kill yourself, you fucking loser. You absolute
Right.
loser. And he was drinking on stage, and he was a big fat and had tattoos all over himself. And one of the lyrics that really irritated me was the lyric said, if it was the 70s, then I'd be working in a factory. And it's like, no, bro, you can go work in a factory right fucking now. Why don't you do that? Stay away from the microphone. Go to the factory. Also, you're a liar. You're a trust fund asshole. You had so many tattoos on you. If you're not a sailor and you have an entire body covered with tattoos, you're a trust funder. Because tattoos are fucking expensive. Unless you get your tattoos in jail, which is where I got all mine.
Really?
And I made him with a ballpoint pen. No, I'm just kidding. I've never been to jail.
Oh, okay.
I've never been arrested. Does that blow your mind?
Yeah.
I've never been arrested.
Between
I
the
have
two of us, I'm the only
no
one that
criminal
has. Yeah.
I have no criminal record. I'm actually a pretty good dude. I just have I got a bad mouth. And so that's enough to get you canceled in this world
Right.
forever.
Or
But anyway, Viagra Boys sucks. That's
okay.
all.
I didn't watch any of the Coachella because I only saw Weezer is the only thing I saw, and I only saw a little bit of it at the end, and I thought,
Yeah,
oh,
you missed all the good parts where he would, dude. There was a million shots of the guy. Everyone was watching him to see, like, is he gonna freak out? Because
Right.
they never show you close-ups of the fucking bass player like this.
This
Are you
guy.
kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
it just doesn't happen. But everyone wanted to see if he'd freak out. And Rivers did say something really nice at the beginning where he was like, he said, "Thank you guys for coming out and letting us be emotional in front of you."
yeah, yeah.
Because it is funny because it does seem like a kind of a mechanical, almost robotic performance, but it's just because they're putting on a brave face. Like, it's pretty fucked up when your fucking wife embarrasses you in that fashion. Like your wife went outside and shot at the police or something. Like, fuck, how embarrassing. And that's not even the most tragic thing of the story. The most tragic element of the story is that she used to be in a harem. She's a fucking whore.
Wait, what?
She was in a harem. She was in some like Saudi Arabian prince's harem. So she's a literal whore. I just don't understand. If you're the bass player for Weezer, you can get yourself a cute emo girl. Any one of these girls in the crowd would fuck you.
Yeah.
You fuck you marry a literal whore? That's just tragic. It's fucking sad. And this guy, he also, his first thing in music was he was the bass player for Vanilla Ice. Do you remember when Vanilla Ice tried to be a hardcore gangster rapper? It was really
Yes.
very briefly, yeah. He's supposed to be like Limp Bizkit. He had an album
Yeah.
called Hard to Swallow, which of course I own. I fucking own the shit out of that.
Which is
So I actually own the bass player's entire discography now that I'm thinking about it. So I have some Weezer and I have the Vanilla Ice CD, and that's it. I got it all.
Okay.
But yeah, what a pathetic life this dude has lived. Fucking A, fucking shit.
That's the thing. You always think like, okay, well, they have all this fame and whatever, and maybe I mean, living in Eagle Rock, it's a nice area. It's not that bad. It's close to Dodger Stadium. You'd think like, oh, he's got some money. He could maybe, who knows? Maybe he really loves her, and we're just talking shit. But
If he does, he's a fucking faggot. That's what I think.
right.
Did you see the children that she made him adopt? Like, you can't
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
me
yeah.
that he enjoys his life. He's not smiling in any of the photos that I shared with you from Instagram.
Right,
He's not
right.
smiling on stage right now. Like, this dude's in his own fucking private hell. And I
Yeah.
was thinking, like, I bet you this guy Scott, the bass player for Weezer, has an amazing man cave. I think he spends a lot of time in it.
That's how you know that a dude is not happy is if their man cave is amazing.
The nicer your man cave is, the sadder your life.
Yeah.
The rest of your life is. It's just a woman barking in your fucking ear all day. So you're like, fine, I'll go out into the fucking. Like, I know people that have built they bought like a tough shed and turned that into a man cave because it's out of the house. And the whole point is just to get away from her. I gotta get away from you. And I totally get it. I remember when I used to have a girlfriend, I would obsessively watch the TV show Gilmore Girls, not because I liked it, but because she hated it. It was the
Oh.
1 hour a week where she wouldn't fucking talk in my ear. I would just sit down. I would just lie on the couch and quietly watch the Gilmore Girls for
Right.
like the last 2 seasons or something.
Wow. The things we do for hate.
Hmm. And like, it's not even worth it. Sex sucks. It's not even worth it, dude. Because her in particular was a fascinating. Because she was, I don't know I couldn't tell you what is wrong with her psychology per se, but she would never show any emotion during sex. She would, she must have been molested a lot as a kid or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
She would disassociate or something. It was like fucking a
Oh,
music
yeah.
video. Do you know what I'm talking about when you watch like that Wicked Game music video? The way that they act and
Yeah.
they never look at the camera. They never, I don't know. They're never smiling. They're never moaning but it's still kind of sexy. It's still sex.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
only time she enjoyed sex with me, this is so pathetic too. It's just sad. It says a lot about her. Was when she was cheating on. Okay, so she left me for another comic, and then
Oh,
she cheated
man.
on me. She
Why?
cheated on him with me, like 2 weeks later. But it was the best sex. I'm pretty sure it's the best sex we ever had together. Maybe the best sex she ever had. It's the only time she ever was into it. She enjoyed herself. She was really into it. And she was only into it because she was cheating on her faggot boyfriend. And he is a faggot, by the way. It's really hard to suppress the feeling to just start naming names, but I'll just suppress it for a little while longer
All right.
till we get an audience that will listen to me.
Yeah.
Um,
I only have one thing to
but-
say to that.
He's a
Man.
fag.
No, Tony, you're right. Tony's right because she told me that the reason why she cheated on him is that the first time that she cheated on me with him, he couldn't get it up. And I was like,
Oh.
well, I've never had that problem with you.
Yeah.
Except one time when I was drinking, I did. But
Well, yeah, whiskey.
I was
yeah.
like, he's gay. He's a total fag. And after that, he dated a porn person. So I was like, well, you're definitely gay because no normal guy wants to date. This is what I was saying about Scott Schreiner. Why would you want to fucking marry someone who was literally used as a toilet? They were
Yeah.
fucked. They were jizzed on. They were jizzed inside of. They
Yeah.
don't know love. They can't. How would they? There's no love coming in that direction.
Also, now that you bring this up,
No normal heterosexual man would marry a porn star or date one. That's all
No.
I'm saying.
no,
Yeah.
nor should they.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
But what I was going to say was, now that you bring this up, the fact that she went out instead of him going out to see the problem is also another problem. Unless he wasn't home.
I'm sorry. You have to turn the music off. I can't hear you.
Oh, is
Okay,
it?
cool. Yeah, now
Uh,
you're better. It's better now. I don't know why it does that. I think it's just trying to compensate for the fact that video is supposed to have sound, but it mutes you a little bit.
Oh, weird.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, what I was going to say is, was he home during this?
No, she came to my house.
No, I'm talking about the Weezer wife.
Oh fuck! cut all of that out because it made no sense. I don't know if the Weezer guy was at home when this happened. I assume that he was not, which is why she grabbed the gun. That's my
Yeah.
assumption. He might have been fucking at practice because they have a fucking gig,
Yeah.
a huge gig on Saturday. So he's probably at he's probably in the jam room.
Okay.
This girl I dated actually brought a package. What was that shit called where you could just basically be a courier? I forgot what it's
Oh,
called.
that-
Postmates.
okay.
She brought a Postmates thing to Rivers Cuomo, the singer for Weezer. She was really proud. She was really proud and pleased about that. And I was like, yeah, well, whatever.
I mean,
Who cares?
It doesn't
Did
mean
you see
anything.
him?
Yeah.
Did you hand his Post-it notes over to him? Otherwise, who gives a fuck? And
Right.
by the way, there's no way he was even home. He wasn't- Maybe you got to see his wife.
Also, you're one of his servants basically when you work for that any of those
Yeah, his
services.
wife. His wife is his servant.
Well, I meant like even delivering a package.
No.
Oh,
Listen
his
to what
wife.
I'm saying here.
Okay.
because When you're the bass player for Weezer, your wife picks up your pack, or like you have to grab your own packages. When you're the singer for Weezer, your wife has to grab the packages for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Rivers' entire house is his man cave. He decorated it any way he liked. There's fucking Van Halen posters everywhere. I guarantee it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
And
sure
his
there's a
wife-
Metallica poster.
His wife is like, River-san, I will clean up after you. I love you, River-san. thank you for helping my family escape Cambodia, River-san. Sorry, he has an Asian fetish. I don't know if that's clear or not. And he's married to an Asian lady.
I figured that. I wasn't sure because I don't know anything about any of these people. Like,
You don't know anything about Weezer? Come on,
well, I
man.
the only thing I know is their music. I don't. I didn't until this incident happened. I had no idea that any of them were married. I assume they probably were, but like I don't really care
They're
about.
married to the music, baby.
Yeah, I don't care about celebrities and their lives. Like I just not that I've never been that interested in these people. But I mean, like their music, sure, but I'm not like
I'm not even that interested in their music, to be honest with you.
yeah.
Weezer, why don't I just go listen to some Nirvana and some Beach Boys and some Cars? Because that's the three bands they ripped off.
Right.
It's just a mix of the three bands. Like, now that I said it, you'll never unhear it. And exactly
Right.
what it is.
Well, I wanted to play this next story, and it's a little bit more about uh, upscaling that's been happening lately. Everything's going to 4K, as you know. Are you good? Oh, you're just getting a drink.
Yeah, finally. I'm moving my chair. It probably looks like I was shoving something up my ass.
I was like, everything okay over there? But no, but
I'm going to stand up. Is that okay? Can I
that's
stand up?
actually better. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. But everything's going to 4K, right? So they have to take all these old videos from back in the day and find a way to upscale them. And a lot of them are using AI. But there's
And it
issues
looks
with
like shit. It
yes,
looks
it
like fucking
does.
shit.
This guy
It
breaks
really
it
is bad.
down pretty well, I think.
I'm a big fan of A Different World. It came after The Cosby Show. I don't watch The Cosby Show anymore, but I watch A Different World, and it used to look like this. This was VHS. So this was 360p, 360 lines, or even less on VHS, and it was iffy at best. It was blurry, but it didn't really matter because you watched it far away on a CRT. Absolutely iconic show, and you can upscale it. You can make one blurry pixel into 4 pixels or 4 pixels into 16 pixels, but you got to have that information come from somewhere. There's different kinds of upscaling. There's linear and there's bicubic. We see it often in retro gaming, but there still isn't enough information here to make Dwayne and Whitley look correct. So if you pause Sinbad with a VHS tape, you can see that there's not a lot here we can work with. You can make it 4K and blurry. However, A Different World was added to Netflix recently. I don't know who owns A Different World right now. I don't think it's Netflix. They license it to someone. And Netflix, of course, has limitations on quality. They're not going to put in 4:3 or square VHS copies. They're going to try to make this look like it's HD. So, when you look at A Different World on Netflix right now, it looks amazing. It's 4K, it's HD. But then something's wrong. Look at Whitley's mouth. Look at her teeth. Look at the background. Look at the posters. See how this isn't even round? They're using AI upscaling. You can confirm that they're using AI upscaling when you look at any text in the background. For example, if we take a look at the pillow on Whitley's bed, see how the text looks weird? That's because the AI can't read and has no real idea what that text is going to be. If it's big enough, because it was big enough when we saw it in VHS, it looks fine. But you see here, this is just a bunch of pixels, and rather than guessing the phrase or guessing the words, it just upscaled it and it looks like hieroglyphics. I know when I watch this show that this little boy right here has on a Masters of the Universe t-shirt.
Oh yeah, this is the part that
But the AI doesn't know that. So it's putting gibberish on his shirt. So here's the problem.
But anyway, so the obviously AI upscaling is bad. We've already seen that in the GTA trilogy remake. They just threw it into AI and said good enough, and it just screwed up everything basically, and everyone was really pissed. I don't know if you probably don't know about that, but this is video game stuff. But they're doing it in other media now, and it's equally bad because it's lazy, it's cheap, but it's not actually a quality upscale. Back in the day when they upscaled something, they had to actually they I think they went frame by frame, right?
They cleaned it frame by frame. They took they had like a ear thing that they would wipe all the grit off with it.
Mm.
And then yeah, and then I think they also would hand paint it sometimes too. There's lots of like old movies that are all like hand painted when they colorize them, which looks very weird too. But actually, it looks human. It's like they
Yeah,
remade it, so that's good.
it's
I fucking hate this upscaling stuff. Is really getting on my nerves because they, whether people are noticing this or not, they've already added it to our television. And what
yeah.
I noticed, there was a TV show called Growing Pains, which I loved when I was a kid, and I started watching it again on the Antenna TV last
Hmm.
year. And they've upscaled it, and it looks really fucking weird. It almost looks like a cartoon. It doesn't look real anymore. And I don't understand why aren't we just okay with the limitations of VHS? Because we watch that shit on YouTube all day. Like all the stuff
Yeah,
I watch on YouTube is stuff that's people use the VHS camera to either film or record off television.
yeah,
So I'm already used to the fact that it's just as shit as it did when I was a kid
yeah.
on regular TV. It's just always gonna look kind of shitty. If you want things that look nice, go watch a Kurosawa movie or some shit. You know
Right.
what I mean? Everything else is gonna look like, you know, crap
I
basically.
I Love Lucy looks good because it was shot on film, and
Hmm.
that was the genius of I forget it, Desi Arnaz, the inventor of the three camera sitcom, basically. Or I don't know if he exactly invented it, but I know he for sure perfected it, and he future proofed all of his stuff.
I
Cause
think a black guy did that. A black guy invented peanut butter, and then he invented that.
okay,
Nah, I'm just saying.
I have no
Argue-
idea,
That's
but
bullshit. That's just how people rewrite history. No,
right,
no,
who?
black people did a bunch of good stuff. No, I don't know. Like they invented peanut butter. Like I don't think they did that. I think that it existed long before they did.
Yeah.
They were the
Uh,
first people that thought we should smash up peanuts and and consume them in a softer way. Okay, I believe
Maybe
it.
I don't know. I've never even cared to look into it, but the three camera setup was at the time it's like a way to record it like a play.
Hmm.
So that way, and you have all these angles, and the only downside, I guess, is at that time the lights were like the sun almost in their heat
Hmm.
level, and then and air conditioning was, I don't know how they must have caked on makeup just to avoid like sweating profusely uh,
Hmm.
through every scene, but he thought and created a company that ended up uh, producing like Star Trek and all these other things that people loved. So
Hmm.
he just was a visionary of understanding how to preserve a media, and everyone else shot on VHS, and that's just it degrades over time. Even though the VHS they shot on was like beta or whatever, it's still there's a limit to how long that can last before it just goes away. You know, and so
Yeah.
film is just always better, and that's the one thing I don't like about the digital age of filmmaking is if you've noticed, movies sort of look a certain way now in how they're lit and how they're framed and how they're shot.
Yeah, the
It,
color grading is awful. Yeah,
yeah,
everything's yellow. Actually, everything looks like the background of your room.
oh really?
Like that kind of vaguely yellowish, but
Hmm.
it's only because your white stuff in the back is probably vaguely yellowish or something.
I think
Do you understand what I'm
so.
saying?
Yeah, my that wall behind on the kitchen is yellow. The rest is
But
kind, you know.
that's okay because we also have this nice color stuff going on over here, and you're wearing a purple shirt, so there's color over here. We no longer are allowed to see color in anything. There's
Right.
nothing colorful anymore. It's all muted. It's all gray washed. It's all shit.
Yeah,
It's all
and
shitty shit.
it has a look, and I've watched a lot of cool videos on YouTube about the why everything starts to look the same. And it's partially because it's the younger filmmakers are all uh, corporatizing everything. So they're like, okay, we're gonna shoot it this way, and this is the way we're gonna do it. And not to say that the creative stuff doesn't come out. Of course it does. There's always people taking chances, but the amount of money that these movies cost nowadays, it's harder to take chances. So you got to follow the formula. You got to follow the writing formula too. Like a movie like Forrest Gump would never get made today because how do you even sell that idea initially? Other than that, it had a book, but like other than that, without a book, try and pitch that to anybody, and see, no one would buy it because you're like, wait, you have a guy that's mentally handicapped. Wait, what is he? He runs into every event in history somehow. He's somehow involved. Huh? Like that's you can't pitch that today just because it's such a weird movie. But it was definitely one of the best movies ever, right? And I don't know what you think of it, but
Allegedly, I watched it a couple years ago and I hated every
oh
fucking
yeah,
second of it. It's just a big stroke job for the boomers. Look at all the stuff we accomplished when you didn't really accomplish a fucking thing except giving the country away to Jews and Mexicans. May or may not want to cut that part out. I don't know. Depends if you want to keep working in the comedy industry.
well,
But baby boomers, dude, they sold out this country to people that are uncreative. They're not creative either. Whatever. I don't even remember what I was talking about because I was so amused by my own racism.
yeah, clearly a joke, obviously.
I mean, if I can, it's not enough just to bash a baby boomer. I could bash a couple other groups while I'm bashing the boomers. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't have to waste time writing individual jokes for all these people. I'll just lump them all together. It's an annoying idiot.
Right.
That bother me.
Yeah, I know. But, well, yes, sure. It may
And
not
I didn't
be.
even bring. I'm sorry, and I forgot to bring up the Chinese. They also sold everything to the Chinese, which
Right.
I have to do. I'm gonna have to do that too. If I want to make money off of my home investment, I have to sell to the Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. And the baby boomers in my fucking building can fucking suffer because you brought that on. You brought that on. You fuckheads. You invited these Chinese corporations to come in here and buy up all the fucking real estate. So now there's none left.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's none left, and other people the other baby boomers can't afford to fucking buy your shit from you. So
Right. That is something that does bother me. The fact that we allow people from a foreign country to buy real estate here. That doesn't make any sense. That shouldn't even
it
be
should be
allowed.
illegal. Yeah,
Yeah.
it should be illegal. That's insane.
They buy it through
But do you
corporations.
But think about what I could give you the fucking because I'm living this. The fuckheads next door have some kind of Chinese landlord. There's no one that's gonna go over there and tell them to shut the fuck up when they're making noise. There's no landlord. The
Right.
landlord is in China right now. He doesn't give a flying fuck if I have to listen to some fuckhead stomp up the stairs every day.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that. Fuck them. I can't wait. I don't know. At some point, it's gonna pop off, and it's gonna be Iran, Israel, China, and the United States, and I really hope we win. That's all I gotta say about that.
I like how you did your best Forrest Gump with that. That's all I got to say about that. So yeah, that
Whore Jenny.
yeah, Jenny was awful. Jenny was the villain.
Everyone agrees that Jenny sucks.
Yeah.
That's something I think is really funny.
Yeah.
She's like Courtney Love or Kathy Griffin. Everyone just hates her, and that's it. There's no getting around it, dude. We hate you.
So anyway, let's get on a lighter subject, I guess. But yeah, they don't make movies the way they used to, and it's annoying. And now they all feel very formulaic and boring. But at least art is still funny.
He's up in those cheeks. Oh, he's really oh my god. Yo.
So I did see this before, but
He's up.
what's the context here?
Oh, so it's a statue in San Francisco, and it's I guess it's a naked woman. And
Okay.
for some reason they had to fix something, so they had, and I don't know why they made the entrance there, but it's through her cheeks. So the guys go in and like fix something. I think they might be taking this down eventually, but it's like a temporary art installation. I don't get it. I don't understand the point. I don't even know why they made it, but yeah, it's art. So it's
I'd rather live in a cancer ward than San Francisco. You know what I'm saying?
right. What's
I'd
the
rather
difference?
I'd rather die and watch other people die around me than be in San Francisco. Yeah, that's exactly the same.
Yeah.
I almost moved to San Francisco years ago. I was going to go to grad school there, which I thank God I didn't.
Okay.
On one hand, I'd be a college professor right now, and I would be talking to you on a dumb fucking podcast. But I'd be rich and be fucking like 18-year-old girls all the time. But I have no regrets. But anyway, yeah, when I visited San Francisco, I was like, this is so fucking expensive here. I can't justify living here.
Yeah.
You just can't.
It's worse
And
than New
so-
York, right? Or about the same?
Yeah, yeah, and they're both worse than LA. LA.
Yeah. And LA is pretty bad. It just got worse with the trash pickup where they're going to charge like 25% more with trash. So it's weird. It's weird the level of stupidity that both runs and votes in the city. But hey,
They're all a bunch of fucking retards. They're so mad at the orange man.
yeah.
I hate the orange man that I'm just gonna suffer.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm so tired of the orange man and how bad he is that I'll just suffer.
Right.
That'll show him. That'll show him when he's in his fucking mansion tonight and I'm living next door to a fucking illegal alien who will not stop making fucking noise ever.
Mhm.
That'll show him he never has to talk to illegal aliens. You think there's any illegal aliens in Donald Trump's life? He
No.
owns you, stupids.
Right.
He won, you lost, and you still like people's pride goeth before a fall, man. That's the most real shit ever. Because the second you let your pride take over is the second that you see what goes on in my building here. These people are constantly at war with each other. Like these faggots will one faggot will set off his fucking stupid Harley motorcycle at 7 a.m. So faggot next door is like, well, I'm an illegal alien, so I'm just gonna start sawing something with an electric saw at 6 a.m. on a Sunday. This is every day, and they can't even make the connection that they're doing this to themselves. Like you voted to have this guy next door, so
Yeah.
get the fuck off the like. So why are you fucking? Why are you saying? Why are you revving your motorcycle to piss him off? What's
Right.
the point? He won.
It's-
He's got free rent.
Yeah.
If I had fucking free rent, I could listen to a million motorcycles get revved forever. You dumb shits. He doesn't have. And when he leaves, he'll just go back to Mexico. No debt.
Right.
Nothing. He'll just go back.
Yeah.
So you can go fuck yourself and take your motorcycle and shove it up your fucking faggot ass. Those faggots. They reminded me of the band I was watching today. What did I say they were called? Viagra Boys.
Yes, Viagra
Where
Boys.
the way these fucking hipster shitheads dress is so fucking embarrassing right now. Everyone has a fucking mullet. They have a mullet and there's a patchy part that they just shaved on the side for no fucking reason. They all look like this, and they all wear the painter's cap. I kept saying, because they don't like sports, so they're not going to wear a fucking ball cap, but they got to wear a cap that's like a fucking ball cap so they can hide their bald spots.
Oh yeah, I know I know what you're talking about, like the newsboy
I
type.
call it newsboy. Yeah, I don't know what they call it, but I see it so frequently, and I've seen it for the last 15 years. Every concert I went to, there's some idiot with the same look.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't you? How do these nonconformists find a way to look exactly like each other? How do you do that? You're shoving shit in your fucking face, and somehow it's the same shit other people shove in their dumb fucking faces?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm sorry.
No. This is good. This is quality.
I'm sorry.
content.
I'm mad because one of my white neighbors moved out today, and I know it's coming. It's either going to be a fucking hipster Antifa shithead, a fucking goddamn baby boomer, or it's going to be a motherfucking illegal immigrant. So one unit where no one made noise ever, and I never saw them ever, they of course are moving out because they can't tolerate the rest of the bullshit from the other fuckheads that live here. And they're all fuckheads. One day this is going to be in court. One day I'm going to be making people laugh in court as they play this on a fucking TV. They're going to wheel it out on the same TV stand that they showed you 9/11 on in high school. And it's just going to be me ranting about what fuckheads everyone I live around is.
Right.
And I'm going to be sitting in the fucking seat laughing my balls off. And I'm also going to directly talk to the fucking jury. I'm not even going to talk to the judge. You see what I had to deal with, kids?
Well, if I could brighten your day a little bit, I think
Please.
this might be the best DOI arrest I have ever seen. I don't know how cops do it. I don't know if I could do it, but here we go.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009. I'm sorry, I just feel out of balance.
Okay.
Yeah, make her jump up and down.
1009, 1010, 1011, 1012, 1013, 1014.
That's all right. It's been 30 seconds.
I'm so sorry.
That's right. You don't have any
I'm
other shoes in the car?
No, that's just my only shoes.
Okay, let's do this. Let's go ahead and put your boots back on.
I'm not gonna at this point. I mean,
Sure.
my feet are dirty.
Actually, yeah, I would put them back on.
I'm
if I
sorry.
were you.
I'm just literally 2
You're
sheets
gonna go to
down,
jail.
going to a friend's house.
Gotcha.
And I mean,
Okay. Well, do this for me. Go ahead and put your boots down for me.
like, I'm not gonna. I mean, at this point,
Okay.
it's fine.
Well, I'm going to put them down for you. Just set them in here. Unfortunately, I am going to place. Turn around for me. I'm going to place handcuffs on you and place you under arrest for DUI.
Now, before body cameras, right? I feel like there was another way they solved this issue. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like the cop figured out like
Hey,
hey,
body cam is a total cock blocker. You're right.
yeah, dude, because I feel like the cop has to pretend like I'm being professional, but there was just another way that they figured out that was, I'm sure, transactional. That
I could see it on the girl's face. She's like, I'm not putting the shoes back on.
yeah.
She thought she was definitely going to get out of this by,
Well, that doesn't work anymore because they can't. They can't do it. They can't. Remember, there was the body cam video of this one cop that got caught he got locked in the back seat with a woman. Do you ever see that one? Oh, okay. Well, I'll just describe it real quick. Maybe I'll play it next week or something. But he gets locked in the back seat and he has the worst excuse, like, "Oh, I was just helping her with something." It's like, no, you were trying to bang her, And conveniently, his body cam was turned off before this incident happened. Which everyone
My
knows.
man.
Yeah, right.
All cops are pimps. Hey, Cap. All cops are pimps.
Well, I watched this show Cops and Robbers on Censor.tv, and they have the cops talk about like back in the days before body cams, like they would have a woman in each section of the city that they would see because they just knew, like, they were just attracted to the cops, and women just like that. They say they don't, obviously, but
They love authority figures. They're the
Yeah.
biggest conformists in the world. They love being told what to do.
mm-hmm.
If you want to know why the world sucks, it's because women got the right to vote. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be deciding anything. They should be told what to fucking do. It's. You think I'm being misogynistic, but they're a lot happier when they're told what to do. In
Right.
fact, the two main girlfriends I had, they cheated on me, and they cheated because I left them the fuck alone. I didn't look through their fucking computer. I didn't fucking I didn't follow them from work, or show up at their workplace to see if they were going out to have a drink or something like that.
Right. Yeah, and they like the last girlfriend that I had, I remember I didn't fight hard enough for her, and that was my bad. Like I was too young to realize this, but she was like, "Okay, I think I'm done," and I could tell, like, now that I'm older, I'm like, "Oh, I was supposed to say no and fight for her," but I was too young and went, "Oh, well, if a woman says she's done, she's done." It's like, no. No, you were supposed to try, and
No,
she was
when she said
testing you.
Yep. When she said, "I'm done," she means I want you to try harder. That's what it meant. I need you to make more of an effort.
Right, and I didn't.
100%.
And I
Well,
was
I
like,
can tell.
Yeah.
Well, when I was a young man, I thought just getting the girl was enough. But
No.
once you get the girl, now you got to keep her.
Yes.
And I got news for you. The ugliest woman I've ever dated was that first girlfriend, and she did cheat on me. She left me for another guy, and that's just it. They're. I mean, she wasn't wrong to leave me. I was a loser, and now she's living a life with a millionaire who had a trust fund. I found out, I discovered this guy's trust fund a few years ago, and I couldn't even, like, the amount of money that his dad has, I couldn't even fucking believe it. I was like, bitch, I would have told you to dump me. We could have just been friends. We could have been friends that went on extravagant vacations together. I would have been fine with that if you'd just been honest with me about it. I would have been like, yeah, if the guy had 1 million, just a million, you should have dumped me for him. I just think that's the facts.
Right.
That's reality. But at
Right.
the same time, her life has been so fucking boring. She's just a kept woman that just sits at home and doesn't work or doesn't have kids or anything, doesn't do anything.
Oh, that's sad. At least with kids, there's like a purpose,
Yeah, exactly. All day she's just sitting thinking like, God, I can't. When she wakes up in the morning, she wakes up as early as she can to maximize the amount of time that her husband's at work, then she doesn't have to be around him. Just enjoy her alone time and enjoy the money.
What's a female man cave, or the whole house?
The whole house except for one room, which has been designated the man cave.
Right.
And actually,
Okay.
I was thinking about something because when I moved in here, I put together this room as sort of like a man cave because I was like, I have this extra room. I want to listen to music in it and stuff. So I was like, why don't you just put up a bunch of music related posters and shit that you can look at while you're listening to music in your music room. And by the way, bitch, to my ex-girlfriend, I got a music room, bitch. Okay, I'm doing fine. You may have missed out on just a lot of fun over the last 20 years. Because like, I actually had a lot of fucking fun, to be quite frank with you. I don't know. Everything worked out fine for both of us. I got a ton of pussy, which I was super insecure about when I was a young man. That I had.
Right.
I didn't lose my virginity until I think I got my first kiss at 21 and lost my virginity at 22. 22.
Yeah. I was
Dude,
I was 20, so yeah, similar situation.
Once you hit 20, dude, and you never have had sex, it's like I'm gonna be a virgin forever. like,
Right.
like I could get drafted into war right now and never get pussy and die.
What I think you don't realize is that you sort of come into your own in your mid 20s or whatever, and so you can overcome a lot with personality and just being able to talk to people. So like I've always done comedies through since I became 18 or 19, I think I started. So I've always done comedy, and that
You started at 19? God damn.
yeah, but
In Long Beach?
Orange County, but
Okay.
it gave me a confidence after a while, and I was always kind of funny, but anyway, that translated to talking to women off stage, and so I like you learn through just repetition and just constantly like like someone says plant 5 bricks a day, so just say hi to like 5 women,
Oh,
just
totally.
get in practice of just talking to women like out in the real world. It's not as hard as you think. In fact, recently I got this Canadian chick interested in me because I had mentioned something about she ordered poutine, and just because I knew what it was, she started talking to me, and then we had this whole long conversation, and then she gave me her number.
Hell yeah.
But
Next time you talk to her, bring up the band Tripping Daisy or or the Kids in the Hall. Trying to think
Oh,
of Canadian stuff that you can stack the deck with. Kids
Right,
in the Hall is a
right.
great one, actually.
yeah. I'm a huge Kids in the Hall fan, but
Me too, man. I gotta tell you a great story. This is the triumph of my life, and then we'll talk about other stuff too. Sorry.
Okay.
But I actually booked Dave Foley on his very first stand-up comedy show.
Nice.
And then, well, it was supposed to be nice, but then he
Oh.
went and did another show like the day before.
Oh.
But I'll never forget this because I was on stage when he showed up at the Improv, and I saw him walk in the door, and I saw him standing in the door watching my set, and I was like, "Oh my god!" It was like terrifying. It's like
Right.
I loved Kids in the Hall when I was a teenager. I was obsessed with the first couple seasons in particular.
Me
And,
too.
dude, it was not cool to like Kids in the Hall because I remember one day I was in high school and some guy asked me what if I had seen Saturday Night Live, and I said I don't watch that. I watch Kids in the Hall, and he's like, "What are you, a faggot?"
It was way better than Saturday Night Live.
It was a million times better, and there were faggots on it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, but I wanted to say about Dave Foley. So, of course, when I finished my set, I just walked over to him. I was like, I have to like at least be in his presence. By the way, he's super tall. You wouldn't
Okay.
think it, but he's really tall, and he like towered over me. But he was fucking hammered. He was going through a really bad divorce, and he was just a fucking drunk at the time.
I remember that. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
And so he was all fucked up, and he goes, oh, good, this is a good set. That's very funny. And I was like, I can't believe this is happening. I know he's drunk, and he's just being nice because I booked him on the show. But damn,
Right.
that is really cool. But also in that very specific scenario, I did have more experience as a stand-up than he did, because I've been doing comedy for like 2 years, and he had only done it one time.
Right.
And by
Because
the
it was
way,
always improv, right?
And I did something evil too. I made a headline. He did 30 fucking minutes.
Holy shit. Oh my god. For this like second time ever.
Yeah, it would have been his first time.
Wow. Wow. That is pretty cruel, actually.
No, it's not. It's what he needed, and I think it helped because
Yeah.
that was in 2011, I think, and then in
Yeah.
2012 he already had an hour-long special that was on Amazon. So
Damn.
you need to hear Dave Foley's story real quick because his story is fucked up. Don't ever get married or whatever. Or if you get married, make sure you have a fucking ironclad fucking
Right.
whatever it's called. I forget what it's
Prenup.
called. Prenup, because he got divorced during news radio, which was the height of his fame and the most money he ever made doing anything.
Oh,
and
man.
and he owes, and so the guy, and so even though no, he got divorced a few years after that, but the judge looked at how much money he had made and just assumed he would keep making that amount of money, and then that was how he determined how much alimony he had to give to his ex-wife, which was way more than he could ever pay. So if you look into his career, somewhere around 2012, he started doing all these really bad B movies. He's doing commercials and shit. The Kids in the Hall got back together over this because he needed money so fucking badly.
Oh,
He had
that's
to go
what that
back
was.
because his money stuff peaked in 1996. So in 2012, he was a nobody. Nobody knew who he was. News radio was off TV.
Right.
Anyway,
That's
why didn't his old friend Joe Rogan help him out? I wonder.
I have no idea. But I want to end on this.
Oh wait! Nah, we're not gonna end. What were you
not-
saying? Before I wanted to hear what you're saying about girls. Oh yeah. Oh yes. This is exactly what we'll end on, or whatever. We'll end on whatever else you're talking about. But I want to say this because
Yes.
I've never made any money doing comedy. I'm not famous, but boy, I've gotten a lot of pussy. I've gotten laid a lot over this crap, and
Me
I know
too.
I don't fuck comics. So
No, me neither.
you have like it's just I don't know. I'll never regret doing stand up because it taught me how to be a fucking be a man and like go out
Right.
and get stuff for myself. And I love what you said about the five
5 bricks a day.
bricks, because the time when I was getting laid all the time, I was talking to 5 new girls a week.
Yeah.
Every week,
And
5 new
it's-
girls a week.
It doesn't have to be anything more than, hey, how's it going? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Well,
simple.
it naturally works its way out because so you start off of the week with the 5 new numbers that you got, however you got them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you got them off of Tinder or something. I don't know.
Right.
So the first 2 are just not going to respond. You just
Yeah.
get immediately ghosted. They weren't interested at all. So now you got 3.
Yeah.
One of those 3 will just eventually decide they're not interested in you, right?
So then you're down to
another-
a spare and a pair. Or, well, you had a spare and a pair.
You're
Now
s-
you're down to
you're-
the 2.
You're down to 2. And then these 2 like you, but you'll bungle it with one of them, and then you'll just end up fucking the one chick. And that's it. You only get to fuck the one chick out of the 5. Now, obviously, if I was super tall and had money, or if I was either super tall or had money, I could probably fuck more than just the 1 out of the 5. But this is the amount of work that you have to put into it
Right. But this is
as
for
a normal average guy.
Yeah, this is for guys like us, just average dudes that are, I've never been rich. I've never been good looking, but I'm not bad. I'm just like a guy, right? But through just pure talking and confidence, I've been able to get women that way. And then being funny, they see me perform on a show, not open mic, but like a show. And they're like, "Oh, wow, you're really great." And then, that works out a lot of times. That has before. And or like I said, I just talked to him at a bar somewhere, and then that also works out. Like in Long Beach, I ended up hooking up with this barista that I'd see all the time, and we just sort of started flirting one day, and then we kept flirting for a while, and eventually I was like, "Hey, you want to come over and meet my cats?" Because I had cats at the time, and she was like, "Sure." And then we drank some wine, and I think I made her dinner, and then we ended up hooking up. So it's like,
Well, shit, that's a good date. I don't make dinner for anybody, not even myself.
right. Or maybe I just got the wine. I don't remember, but I know for other girls I've made dinner and stuff. So like I put in an effort. That's another thing. You don't have to be the best looking guy, but effort goes a long way.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Most
Yeah.
guys don't make any effort.
Yeah, and then they get mad. It's like, well, but you're not trying. They gotta.
And they also don't recognize that women are trying all the time too. Women hit on you constantly, all day, every day. They're just subtle about it because they're terrified of rejection.
Right.
And women are so sensitive to this stuff. They if they post something on your Facebook wall and you don't like it, they consider that rejection. They're like, that guy rejected me. Who the fuck does he think he is?
Right.
So that's something else to think about. It's the total opposite of what it's like for to be a man. As a man, I know I have to get rejected a bunch of times before I can get laid.
Right.
Whereas
right.
it's the opposite for women. They can get laid all the time, and they have to do the rejecting. They have to find the guy that's perfect for them.
Exactly. Yeah. But this is the last thing I'll do because we're at the hour. But I'd like to at least get this in for posterity's sake. So this week, or maybe it was earlier this week, there was these dire wolves that came out. These things. Did you see this?
I didn't see this. No.
So let me explain what it really is. So this company ended up using CRISPR, the CRISPR technology. Do you know what that is? Genetic technology where they figure out a way for genes to edit the genes within themselves through
Like the vaccine. I know what you're talking about.
yes, very much so. Yes. We don't know exactly what it's going to do. But anyway, they did it with these. And all they really did was create gray wolves that are white and a little bit bigger than normal gray wolves. That's it. Now, the media is calling them dire wolves and bringing back a species that has been gone for 20,000 years or something to that effect. But in reality, all it is gray wolves that kind of appear like dire wolves. That's really all it actually is. They didn't take the DNA from the dire wolf because I don't think they have it, and they just sort of used a new technology to edit genes to make these things kind of look like an extinct wolf, basically.
So they're playing God, but they're just not doing it very well.
Correct.
Leave it up to God. Yeah, leave it to God.
Yeah.
Fuck off with that shit. Leave it alone. Stop
Exactly.
it.
And they're gonna try and do this with woolly mammoth. I don't know why.
Why do we need it?
Yeah, stop bringing these things back. You're not bringing them back, actually, but stop making an elephant that looks kind of like a woolly mammoth. There's no point to it, right?
Yeah, use this technology in making less ugly people.
Yeah, less of us.
Together the genes of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, and have them make an actual baby instead of adopting.
Right.
What an insult to humanity that they fucking adopted. Fuck you. Two of the most beautiful people that have ever lived. They won't procreate together. Fuck you.
Right.
You're too good to make a beautiful baby together. Fuck you. And fuck Maddox or whatever their fucking adopted idiot kid is. I wonder if they ever have play dates with Weezer's bass players' children. It's the only black kids they ever see.
Yeah. And
the dudes sorry, there's nothing funnier than a guy being in Weezer, the whitest band ever, having black children. I just think that's funny as fuck.
it kind of is, yeah. But
yo, home slice, what's up? what's with my homie doing over here, bro?
Yeah. Oh man! But on that note, this is a fun show. I think we had a good time. I think we gave some good advice, actually, which hopefully people will listen to. I'll clip it out, I'm sure. But
yes, sell your shit to the Chinese. That's
right.
it. That's the best advice. I'm going to leave California a millionaire. I already know this.
I hope so.
So it's gonna it's not gonna happen because of comedy, unfortunately, but it will happen because of real estate. Because I made a smart real estate investment.
Whatever works.
That's why I laugh so hard every time these faggots stomp around next door. I'm like, bitch. You're not getting in the way of $1 million with stomping. Right? If that's what you think is going to stop me from collecting $1 million check in a couple of years as I move out, you're wrong. I've been watching my Zillow obsessively watching my Zillow for years, and I'm counting the days when I don't ever have to be around other people, because I assure you, when I leave here with my $1 million, I'm moving to fucking Montana or rural Pennsylvania, go live where Bam used to live or something like that. I'm going somewhere where I have property and some acreage, and I don't have to see any other fucking people or listen to them or hear their boring ass fucking conversations on the phone. By the way, why go outside and talk on the phone? Don't you like your own privacy?
Yeah, I never understand that. I will never get that.
It's such a bizarre flex. God, my fucking it's weeping. It's weeping. All right, I'm sorry. We need to get going. I think I need to
Yeah, I think you need to put some lotion on that or some medicine.
Fuck.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good weekend. Thank you again, Joseph Larkin, for this. And
Hey, I hope your weekend sucks. But next weekend you can watch Yo Gabba Gabba on the YouTube live stream of Coachella. So maybe next weekend will be better.
all right, bye.